Hey everybody, John Skiba here from the Consumer Warrior YouTube channel. I am a bankruptcy attorney in the state of Arizona, and in this video I'm going to tell you the two main reasons that people choose to file Chapter 13 bankruptcy over the more traditional Chapter 7 bankruptcy. But if this is your first time here to my YouTube channel, please go ahead, click subscribe, check on that bell, that way you'll be notified each and every week when I put out a new video that'll help you deal with serious debt problems. All right, let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Now, most people that file bankruptcy, they file Chapter 7. Overwhelmingly, they file Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is relatively short, it takes about 4 to 5 months, and it gets rid of the debts like your credit cards, medical bills, personal loans. Those are discharged through that process. They're eliminated. You're not required to make any type of payment. You kind of just get through the process and move on. Chapter 7 is what people think about when they are thinking of bankruptcy and that fresh start that a bankruptcy offers. Chapter 13, on the other hand, is a much bigger process. The typical Chapter 13 bankruptcy case lasts 5 whole years. 5 years. So Chapter 7 is 5 months. Chapter 13 can be up to 5 years. It's a much longer commitment. Not only that, you're required to pay back a portion of your unsecured debts, whether it be credit cards, medical bills, whatever it is. You have to pay back a portion of those creditors over that 5-year time period. So you may be asking yourself, why in the world would anybody choose a Chapter 13 over a Chapter 7? And I'm going to give you the two main reasons that I see in my bankruptcy practice here in the state of Arizona why people elect to file Chapter 13. The first is that they don't qualify for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. In order to qualify for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, we have to look at your household size and your household income and compare that to the typical household income for your size in the state of Arizona. Now, these are the numbers that the federal government puts out. This is called the means test. We have to look at your income compared to your household size, and if you make more than the typical family of your size in the state of Arizona, there's a good chance you don't qualify for a Chapter 7 and you're going to have to file a Chapter 13. So the first reason that people file Chapter 13 over Chapter 7 is they simply don't qualify under the means test for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing. The second reason that people file a Chapter 13 over a Chapter 7 is that they have assets that they are concerned about losing in a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So Chapter 7 is relatively short and sweet, gets rid of the debt, and you move on with life. The trade-off in a Chapter 7 is the court, and more specifically the bankruptcy trustee, will look to see if you have any non-exempt assets that they can take, sell, and give the money to your creditors. Most things are protected and exempt, your household goods, usually your vehicle. There's the homestead exemption that generally will protect your home. There's all these exemption laws that protect your stuff, but sometimes there are assets that you can have that are not going to be protected by one of the exemptions. Or you may have too much value, like in your home, for instance. In Arizona, the homestead exemption is $250,000 of equity. Well, what happens if you have $300,000 of equity in your home? In a Chapter 7, there's a good chance they're going to force the sale of your home. In a Chapter 13, on the other hand, you have to make that monthly payment for 5 years. The trade-off is generally you're not going to lose anything through that process. They're not going to force you to sell anything. So let's say that you have a boat and it's paid for and it's something you'd like to keep, but you need to file for bankruptcy. If you file a Chapter 7 in the state of Arizona, there is no exemption for boats. They're going to take that boat and sell it. However, if you file a Chapter 13, you can keep the boat, continue to use it, still own it, but the trade-off is you're going to have to make a payment to your creditors over a 60-month period, so up to 5 years. Now, the first question, of course, that's going to bring to mind is, well, how much is the payment that I have to make? That is a very case-by-case, fact-specific analysis that we have to do. We have to look at your income, we look at your monthly assets, and then we also look to see if you have non-exempt assets. That's going to play into the formula as well. So if you're thinking that you may need to file bankruptcy and you're not sure what chapter, I highly recommend you contact a bankruptcy attorney. Here in the state of Arizona, I offer free consultations where we can evaluate your situation, help you to determine if it's Chapter 7, Chapter 13, or maybe bankruptcy is not a good option at all. Believe it or not, I tell people that quite a bit, that sometimes it's just not a good fit. So my contact information is below. Again, I offer a free consultation. I'd be happy to talk to you and help you figure out how we can deal with some of these serious debt problems. Thanks for watching today.